And upcoming, well, you're watching this now. Happy Feliz Dia de los Muertos. I said happy feliz, so it's happy Dia de los Muertos.
Happy squared.
But yeah, you should be welcome to Between Nerds. This is Julius. I'm Aldo Mendez. I am. We're recording this on a Tuesday, November 1st. You guys are gonna see this on the 2nd tomorrow. Again, happy Feliz Dia de los Muertos. Hopefully, all your dead relatives visiting you at night.
Happy Day of the Dead, everybody.
Yes. We are here. Since we talked about what I forget I have makeup on my face.
We watched Made in Abyss this week. Made in Abyss season 2.
But what did we watch last week?
Last week we watched Call of the Night.
Call of the Night. Cool. Okay. Yes. So pretty Halloweeny still.
Yeah, pretty Halloweeny still at the beginning of this episode. Before we get lost in the sauce a little bit, we do want to remind everybody to please subscribe on YouTube. Like, honestly, that's the quickest way that'll get us monetized, which is our main goal right now. We're about 7.4% of the way to reaching our subscriber goal for monetization. We're like 8.5% of the way in terms of public watch hours on YouTube videos, which doesn't include YouTube Shorts, to getting monetized. For whatever reason, to get monetized via YouTube Shorts, you need 10 million views in 90 days, which is ridiculous. Like, we got really excited because we have 2 YouTube Short clips with
passing a K, easy 1.3K
each. They're both at 1.3K, but neither of those count towards our public watch hours.
Yeah, we've been looking at our phones like dogs for the past week whenever we have shorts, because we're like, oh, I wonder if it's gonna do this week.
Like a teenage girl waiting for likes on my selfie.
Just validation for work. But it's still in. Oh yes, you were gonna say follow us there again on all our social media, Between Nerds. I want to open a Reddit.
You want to start a subreddit for Between Nerds?
Yes, because I feel like we can get some good toxic shit there.
Oh, God. Oh, you cursed. Oh, well. It doesn't matter. No, just leave it. Just leave it.
Just leave it?
Yeah, just leave it.
This episode, we're going to be talking about Made in Abyss. And if you guys are sensitive to grapes...
Oh, yeah.
And you know, fetus eating... and...
Made in Abyss is evil. And what's hilarious is, like, if anybody that already subscribed to us on YouTube or follows us on Twitter, if you've noticed, we've been reposting, like, old audio episodes. So, like, we're currently on episode, like, 45, 43, something like that. Because I'm going backwards, right? Mm-hmm. From, like, episode, like, 52 or something like that. And I'm barely getting to the point that, like, June 2021, where we watched Made in Abyss Season 1, we watched Mob Psycho Season 1, we watched Hunter x Hunter Season 2.
That was a good year.
Yeah, it was a good year. But, like, it's just crazy how much worse Made in Abyss gets. And it's not like it's bad. Like, I don't mean worse as in, like, it's a bad anime, it's bad writing, it's bad cinematography. All those things, it's stupendous at. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. But, like, it is amazing
at being, like, evil.
The most evil plot I've ever seen in my life. Like, the most monstrous, void of any sense of humanity kind of story I've ever and
like, Made in Abyss has to ease it up on how we get another crew member to the party, man.
And like, I'm not even entirely convinced we actually got another crew member, because the end of the season leaves it kind of ambiguous on purpose.
It does.
And like, the thing about Made in Abyss Season 2 is I didn't enjoy watching it at all. Like, and I know I've been talking it up for like 6 months already, waiting to watch it.
It's because it's not a fun watch.
No, it's absolutely terrible.
And I remember this feeling from Season 1 and the movie, because I was like, I can't watch that again.
It's because I feel like the movie ruined it. Because the movie is like just 100 minutes. Like 100 minutes of just awfulness. Just the most terrible, children bleeding from their orifices.
Yeah,
like
sociopathic tendencies of like making your child's love be used as a power-up.
Turning children into briefcases, and like... Just people's limbs getting severed, and it's just like, from the second you watch the Made in Abyss movie and you start Season 2, there's a child grape scene 30 seconds into Season 2 Episode 1. 30 seconds into the season, that's the very first piece of imagery you're meant to deal with.
So, shout out again, because we're going to talk about really good things that Made in Abyss does. aside from the awful work that they actually created.
Yeah. And what's worse is that, like we talked about it last time, it has this moral oral kind of aesthetic to it. Oh no, my sign.
Oh, go ahead and fix it. We got time.
Well, pause it and stop it.
Well, I can cut this real quick. You want to cut the cuss word? No, just keep leaving.
How did this happen?
I don't know. I just heard like a crackle. Oh, now you got the other one on top. Oh, the other one's falling on top.
That one's on the nail chip.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the whole thing fell. What were we talking about?
We're talking about how Made in Abyss. You're saying that if it got fucked up during the movie because there was. You were talking about.
I was talking about the moral oral aesthetic to it. Mm-hmm. Like it tricks you. Like if you didn't know any better and you just saw like character like pictures or models or like random gifs on YouTube or something of Made in Abyss, you would never know that this is like the most evil anime ever created.
This was one of your points in the episode 1 of Made in Abyss.
Yeah.
That it has this tonal shift in one point of the
like
on
episode
anime,
like 9, yeah.
Yeah, that it just turns super dark and it doesn't stop from there. And here, almost a year later from watching like the movie,
like 3 years after season 1 came out.
Now we're watching season 2, and holy shit, it just picks up berserk like in the eclipse.
I literally think that Made in Abyss might be the most evil anime. Like, say what you want about the Berserk manga. I heard it gets even worse in the show. Say what you want about Full Metal Alchemist. Say what you want about Death Note. Say what you want about... I literally think, as far as anime is concerned, Made in Abyss is the most evil anime ever created.
Grave of the Fireflies is not up there to what...
It's because Grave of the Fireflies is... It's sad, but it's not like... evil. It's like, look at how like evil humanity is. It's like a reflection on humanity in general. Made in Abyss is like just pure fiction. So this is literally just somebody's imagination just making the most evil things possible.
Yeah. And it's crazy.
It's like the Old Testament.
Like you said, we beginning this in this like flashback or this narrator talking in the past tense of...
Oh, you like my shirt?
Oh, I do like your shirt. Great. Yeah, I like it. And as she's talking, now we get put like on some of her flashbacks, but then we go back to the actual plays that she's thinking. She's thinking this while being raped.
Yeah, they never completely explain the time period that is. Mm-hmm. So her name is Vueko. Mm-hmm. Right? So, like, I was watching season 2, episode 1 with Karen, and she was a little confused because she hadn't seen season 1 or the movie on who the main characters actually were. Because we're, like, I don't know, like, a few generations before our main cast.
And I was going to say, like, kudos, super kudos, about like, the thing of, we're going to say some good shit about the show, even though it's evil as fuck. The world building is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's stupendous.
Yeah, and the character introduction is fucking crazy. It feels like I'm watching One Piece. It feels like I'm reading One Piece.
It reminds me of like when you read history about how the Pacific Ocean was kind of
like Columbus not discovering America.
No, the Pacific, not the Atlantic.
Oh, okay.
So like, how did the Philippines get colonized? How did Singapore get colonized? How did Japan get colonized?
Cambodia.
Like the Philippines is just a bunch of island nations because like surrounding the Pacific is just a bunch of volcanic activity, right?
Gotcha. I'm right there with you.
So like you read world history about that point. It's literally like war takes place on your home island. You just start sailing. You heard somebody say generations ago that maybe there's an island in a given direction, and you just have no other option but to go that way. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how Vueko and like this colonization team is treated. They were like, they're all either outcasts or criminals, or like how Australia was kind of colonized.
And the United States too, yeah.
And just a bunch of people that needed to get away from their home nation because of religious prosecution, because of legal troubles. They had no other options, so they just start
and shit like that.
Yeah, just start drifting off into the ocean to find somewhere to live.
And to your point, like it just. We saw this Attack on Titan-esque geometry. You know what I'm saying? We thought we were just in an island. We thought we were just here in the 3 walls. But no, there's a place out there. And this, when you see that, when I first saw that, I'm like, oh shit! Like the world building, it's starting right now. Episode 1. It was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome.
In like season 1 is mostly world building until that tonal shift. Like it's all just there's a huge pit in the town that I live in, and there's 7 layers, and my mom's on the 7th layer, and I'm gonna go find her.
And I just escaped grape assault.
Yeah,
because that's when it happens.
Was that in season 1? Oh, I was talking about season 1.
Oh, you were talking about season 1.
I was talking about like season 2 is literally she's a slave. Like she's just a colonized person group that, you know, women and children just get sold into sex slavery, and just some bum alcoholic pirate buys her and just raises her for graping, and it's awful. And it has that God, like that really evil kind of writing you don't think about like victims of long-term sexual abuse, where they like try to disassociate from that moment, which is why directorially she's like narrating a different experience while experiencing a rape physically.
Yeah, like you've seen all this, like,
and she's a minor. She's like she's a child,
and that's why
it starts.
And that's why there's groups to help like people that have been trafficked, like human trafficked.
It's so gross.
You know, and support groups for all these people. And shout out to all the sex workers too. I mean, you guys deserve to, you know, everything, benefits and everything.
It's like no wonder she tried to just like escape on a boat. Like why wouldn't you?
With randoms, absolutely.
Yeah, with just people you don't know. Like just any reason to get out of there. It's so evil. And like he's even abusive. It reminded me of Ranking of Kings a little bit, where what's his name? The little black blob in Ranking of Kings. Whatever. The best friend in Ranking of Kings. There's a point where like his abuser just starts abusing him for like literally no reason, and this drunk alcoholic pirate that adopted Vueko just kind of just gives her a giant burn scar one day for no reason, just to mark her on a slave because she's less than human, and that's just what you can do to your property. Just take a hot iron, just get it molten hot, and just burn a child's forehead just because just because you're evil and bored. And that reminded me of Ranking of Kings a little bit. And God, like just like the body of this season is just even more evil, because like all they do is introduce squishmallows. They're literally squishmallows, right?
Yeah.
They're cute, fluffy, pink, and squishy, and like they're all smiling and happy, and they live in this amazing little cute village.
But they're just cursed humans.
Yeah, they're just like, oh god, they're like not. Some of them aren't even humans. They're like creatures of the abyss that were like created by a cursed human, and like they sell themselves to like this imaginary blob of a village that like there's a lot of molestation imagery like the entirety of the season. Like there's a point where the little squishy bunny that hangs out on Rico's head, her name is Mania, whatever. I don't remember this happening in season 1 or the movie, but like apparently there was a gem up her butt. So then like these tentacles that steal value from creatures that live inside the village, it just grabs it, just rips apart its anus, and just starts stealing the gem that's inside of it. And you hear it screaming and crying, and Rico's just standing there being like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening? Can someone please explain this to me? And then there's just like a bug robot that's just like, oh yes, the village is stealing its value because it's stolen value, so now it's value for the village to create more villagers.
So yeah, there is a whole. It gets you lost because Made in Abyss Season 2 has this, like, what, maybe Quentin Tarantino-esque kind of way of going about a movie, like, maybe not Quentin Tarantino. Maybe I'm confusing with Spike Lee, that he starts at one point, but it's going to another point, and then goes back to the past, and then goes back to the present, and then goes back to the past, and then goes back to the present.
Scorsese.
Scorsese? Is that what it is?
Reminds me of, like, Reservoir Dogs a little bit.
That maybe like that too.
Yeah.
And that's Quentin Tarantino.
Is it?
Yeah.
Am I confused? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, okay.
So they put you into this world of what the fuckness within like how you said it with this like fantastical like catch to it.
Mm-hmm.
And we start meeting the villagers, but then we jump back to Waco.
Waco. Yeah, it's with a V.
Waco, and she is trapped in a hole. Or am I skipping way too far?
It doesn't even matter. We don't have to. So basically, like the jumping in time frames that Aldo's talking about is like Waco and this guy Belaf and their leader Wazukan are it's like Columbus. They're on 3 different boats. They're traveling to this island with this giant pit in the middle that has this famed golden city where anybody can find their dreams and live happily ever after. And so it's like we were talking about earlier, it's just a bunch of rapists and disenfranchised people from their home country just going out into the middle of the fucking ocean trying to find some island that they heard about by hearsay. Mm-hmm. And they find this island, and it's
our island.
It's the island from the pit, but like it's uninhabited really. Besides like this native, like violent population of natives that lives there, and like they don't speak the same language. They start like trying to take any valuables that they find on essentially the Europeans here, trying to like trade information for their valuables. And Waco has like a compass that was showing them where the center of the abyss was, which was how they found the island. They meet like this little orphan girl who's like basically disenfranchised from the rest of the village because she's incapable of having children.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I thought they found her in the abyss already.
No. They find her in the village. So like
on top layer, like outside.
Yeah. Like outside of the abyss.
I completely missed that. But yeah, they found this outcast girl who can't have children, who is I don't know how to tell you how they written this character. But it's so fucking wild too, because she's so naive, and at this point you already know something's gonna happen. Like, she's so innocent and nice and naive, and
I think like you're exactly right, because that's the issue with season 2. It's just like, since the movie, everything is so bad so often that the narrative can't even lull you into that false sense of like maybe everyone's safe anymore. You can't fall for it anymore. No. Even like
I fell for it as soon as I started watching it.
Oh no, but I didn't. Well, I didn't, because you had told me episode 1 was fucked. Yeah. You had texted me being like, "Yo, watch episode 1, it's fucked." So right away I was like, "Oh god damn it, Main Abyss is just starting with this shit immediately."
Yes, absolutely.
And like even when it cuts to the present with our main group of Rico, Reg, and Nanachi, I kind of forgot how they fucked up Reg in the movie too. He's missing an arm. Mm-hmm. He's just missing an arm.
Yeah,
and we just got to go about it now. And like, naive me went the entirety of season 2 being like, oh yeah, the village that can steal value and reform people, that's totally how they're gonna fix Reg's arm, right? Nope, never happens. Nope, he's just
one
a
arm
cripple.
In the entire
He's just a cripple and just has a left arm now. And I was stupid for even thinking that the narrative would be nice and fix him.
But the character design of Riku, she's carrying it. She has it like strapped on her backpack.
Yeah. It's like in some anime where you see the sword like horizontally against the lower part of somebody's back, like it's just like a short sword. That's how she carries Reg's arm. And they use it as like a walkie-talkie kind of, because like he still has like control of that arm, so he can give like a thumbs up or like a cue when like he needs something to happen.
Yeah. And and also when we jump back to the present with our original crew, fucking Miti's not dead all of a sudden, and we have Nanachi like losing her shit all over again.
Oh my god, I hate Nanachi. I hate Nanachi in this season so much. So like in the movie, in the end of season 1, Nanachi was
they had
in
to
like
one-man punch her. They had to put her away.
Oh, Nanachi's too powerful. Yeah. They had to. So in our discussion of season 2 of One Punch Man, we kept bringing up the point that like the point of One Punch Man and what makes it funny is that the fights can only happen if One Punch Man is not there, because he's too powerful, and the minute he's on scene, within one punch the fight ends. Nanachi is basically that equivalent within our main party of Rico's party. So like she's just gone all of season 2. Like, they find a reincarnated Nanachi, which was like her girlfriend that she grew up with and turned into a hollow child with.
Because of the laws made in the Abyss by this other past tense crew.
Yeah.
It's weird because the little girl that we were talking about that they find, so the people started like diving into the Abyss. And we get into the what is it, the royal chalice or the royal,
the 4th layer.
Yeah, the 4th layer. We get into there. We get into we travel down in the vessel, the Bardu or what's his name?
Bondru,
the vessel that he lands in at the where we start with our current crew
in the 5th layer.
Yeah, so now these people are dying because they're in the Abyss. They're in the 6th layer of the
Abyss. And you can't leave the Abyss. Yeah. And like, I felt like part of me...
There's no water, there's no meat, there's no fruit,
I feel like in a part of my brain, I was just like screaming, like, you can't leave the Abyss once you're in the Abyss. And like, we've known that since season 1. And like, it blows my mind that Rico as a character would continue to be like, nope, I'm just gonna keep going down. Even though they tell her a million times, once you go further than the 5th layer, you can never come back up, because there's a, air quotes, curse of the Abyss, which Nanachi and other hollows, like creatures, like deformed humans made within the curse of the Abyss, they can see it, and it's like a literal cloud of like miasma and like evil energy that like will keep you tied to keep having to go lower and lower and lower into the Abyss, because if you try to move upwards too quickly, the like concentration of the miasma of the curse of the Abyss will start like flooding your veins and your nostrils, and you start like gastrating and like
your DNA changes.
Yeah, you're those are the extreme cases, like Nanachi and Miki. But like if you even like slowly move up in a quick frame of time, like just literally, if you go up 10 feet in
or a step, if you go a step,
within like 10 seconds, then the curse of the Abyss will just like you'll start coughing up blood, your eyeballs start popping out, like your lungs start filling with blood, and like all this pus, and like that was the plot of the movie, was that Bondrewd was manipulating the curse of the Abyss to essentially create immortal beings. Because if you just take a bunch of children down to the 6th layer in an elevator and just bring them up really, really quickly,
that love you, and then they don't think they're going to do anything wrong, that's what it was, the curse of and the blessing of the Abyss.
Yeah, the blessing of the Abyss is the curse of the Abyss, which that language reminds me of like Mushoku Tensei a little bit, because in the light novels they explain that like cursed children and blessed children are exactly the same, because like it depends on what the curse is. Like if it's a strong curse, like a beneficial curse, like you're cursed to be abnormally strong, then that's a blessing, so you're a blessed child, right? And like Bondrewd was essentially doing the same thing, where like these children would get flooded with the curse so quickly that they'd either turn into like amorphized immortal blobs that can't be killed and just keep regenerating but they still feel pain, or they turn into hollows, which are like what Nanachi is, which is just like a bunny. You turn into a monster of the Abyss. The Abyss starts flooding you with its energy, and you turn into a creature.
Powerful, more fast, more agile. You know, shit like that.
But you're still not human anymore.
But you're not human anymore. Yeah, it rips you of your humanity.
Yeah. Which is like the crazy thing about Bondrewd, and like he was abusing that immortal aspect of these hollow children to make like an energy supply.
Also, we got people in whistles.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that was another thing, like in the beginning of the season, where it's just reminding you all the fucked up shit that's already happened. Yeah. Like Rico just grabs a little white whistle around her neck and she's like, "Come on, Prushka, let's get down to the 6th layer. We're gonna do this together." And I was, oh my God, a child died. I forgot. Like,
and then the abyss monsters or the abyss people can sense that there's a kid inside the whistle. They're like, "Oh, you gotta stone people."
The stone person's trying to get out of there. You need to fashion that stone.
Yeah, she's trying to talk to you. I don't know where she's.
Why are you ignoring her?
Yeah, exactly.
You're being kind of a cunt. Like I thought that was your friend around your neck.
Wild, and he has this like, "Hey, listen," from like Zelda.
Yeah,
dude, it is terrible. It's terrible.
It's so, and then like, so basically I'm going to try to explain the middle, and I need you to fix it for me because it got very, very confusing. So
we're both parties are at the same point of elevation. There's a
right. We're in the 6th layer.
Yeah.
It switches for a good amount of time to the Rico party, and we get to the village, right? The ill blue village, which is full of hollows, and that's where they rip the butthole and get the gem out of Mania, and that's where we get the little bug gremlin thing, Majikaji, and he's the one explaining the thing about this village. So within the village, there's like this giant, how tall is it? Like 100 kilometers tall?
Well, I'm guessing it's as tall as all
of the 6th layer.
Of 6th layer, yeah.
So there's just this giant tower that's made of living flesh, and inside of that, this living flesh tower are hollows. And Rico notices that immediately. She's like, "Why the fuck is there a hollow village inside of the 6th layer? Is this the Golden Village? What's going on?" And these are all either hollows born of the village, like born inside of the abyss, created from the orphan child that they took from the surface of the island like few generations ago. Vico and her people did. She ate a wish granting artifact from the abyss called a golden egg.
And for that, we gotta go back to the original flesh of our prequel party, which is Vueko. And we go back to that. These people are new to the 6th layer. They realize that they can't eat, they can't drink water. They find a pond with water.
What was that? There was like a microbe in the water?
Well, it's because the fucking abyss is the abyss, bro. The water that looks like water is not water. It's like an entity on its own.
They even boiled it, and there was like microorganisms that still made everyone shit themselves.
And it's just
there's a whole diarrhea episode.
There's a cholera fucking arc.
Oh yeah. There's a cholera. Yeah.
They start burning up. They start shitting themselves, and like Waco, I don't know why she might have like this almost like invulnerability to it so quickly. Like there's weaker stomachs to it, I guess.
Yeah.
And people just start rotting.
They start turning into hollows, basically.
They start turning into hollows. What's the little girl's name?
Her name's super complicated and hard. It's Irumiyui.
Irumiyui?
Yeah.
Irumiyui. She is the child, and she starts burning up, and now we have a sense of Waco and Irumiyui, of mother and daughter. You know what I'm saying? They've been taking care of her so long. They've been trying to survive without water. People are dying of starvation and shit like that. So now they're dying of shit, actually, and she gets sick, and it's like this Grave of the Fireflies kind of thing where, oh fuck, we need to give her water, but if we give her more water, then that thing's gonna turn them into hollows. So Waco also starts drinking that water, and she gets sick. But at some point, when she gets sick and she passes out, their leader, Wasukian.
Yeah.
Wasukian.
Yeah.
Wasukian is like, hey, let me take you to Irumiyui. Let me take you. You haven't seen her since you got better.
Yeah. So she like passed out a few days from cholera.
Yeah. So now she's like a half oyster baby. We talked about this in season 1. Like half oyster baby, half like what is it called? Hollows.
Yeah.
Hollow. And she's like, what's up?
What she like? Right before Vueko passed out from her cholera sickness, she saw Irumiyui eat or like give herself to this artifact wish granting thing. That was like the last thing she saw before she passed out.
You're right.
Which like Irumiyui like kind of like gives birth to a hollow. Like literally, and she's like, why the fuck? And Vueko's like pissed. She's like, Irumiyui, why did you give yourself to this evil artifact item?
Well, it's because that artifact item was a wish wanting. And
all Irumiyui wanted was to be able to have kids.
Exactly. But now, I don't know if it was just because the same curse of the abyss that it was happening as well. When she gets granted that wish, yeah, she can have babies, but because in the state that she is, because of the egg, or the water as well combined with the egg, she's having like stillborns.
Oh yeah.
Stillborns.
Oh yeah.
Just every day a stillborn. Every day stillborn.
So
Every day
she both has like excitement for all of 30 seconds because she's like, oh, I had a kid. At the village they told me I could never have a kid, and then like it dies immediately. So that's like the last thing Vueko sees when she passes out. When she wakes up, Wezokyan like shows her just like, oh, let me show you how I've been feeding everybody while you've been asleep. So Irumiyui will like give birth to the stillborn. Right before it dies, Wazukyan will like grab it and start just like cleavering the thing and like cook it up into steaks for the night's dinner and just like feed it to the people. And she's just like, how is that not cannibalism? Like it was like it's like that episode of Rick and Morty where Rick had made Beth when she was a kid.
An imaginary world?
Yeah, like an alternate dimension where she trapped her school, her like neighborhood best friend when she was a kid. So he grew up there for like 30, 40 years and had to eat his offspring and stuff like that and kept fucking like the living natural organisms that lived in this alternate dimension, and then they would give birth and he'd eat them.
Somehow lighter in Rick and Morty.
Somehow. Well, at least Rick and Morty, it's like Rick and Morty's a satire, so it tries to be funny about it, even though it is gruesome. It's Made in Abyss is just like, isn't this the nastiest, most gruesome shit like anybody could think of? I'm like, absolutely Made in Abyss. This shit's this shit's the most evil thing I've ever heard of in my life. What are you talking about?
Yes, and so now, this Waco goes up to this blob who is still Irumiyui.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I need to kill myself. I need to kill you, and I need to kill myself right here. Because this is happening to you right now? Like, you giving up your wish, or your wish being taken away with you like that? Like, that's not it, bro.
Yeah.
But she doesn't do it. She doesn't carry off with it. So now, I think there was a talk of Wazukian giving Irumiyui another egg.
Yeah.
In which where she, I don't know, she wished for like the destruction of these people, but it doesn't really tell you like how long it's gonna take.
Yeah.
You know? So the body of
Irumiyui
turns into this big old rock boulder and starts guiding their people into deeper and deeper and deeper into the abyss.
Like at a certain point, like in the 6th layer, Wazukyan like kind of just like takes the little tree stump that she's turned into, just kind of puts it on a ledge in the middle of the 6th layer, and like it grows exponentially really quickly, makes like a membrane that they can fit into, and he's just like, everybody walk in there.
What happened to the guy with the white hair? Why was he so distraught? Because he was eating babies?
Because he could see. That's what I was gonna ask you too. So Belaf is Wazukyan's right hand man, right? So the main three for like the expedition party are Wazukyan, Belaf, and Vueko. Mm-hmm. Wazukyan's kind of gone off the edge and like is feeding everybody babies. Vueko is worried about Irumiyui and her abuse and like turning to a giant hollow tree. Mm-hmm. Belaf is, I think he wants to turn into a hollow and he feels guilty about it and starts going manic. So he like kind of starts drinking more of the evil hollow turning water than he should, or that's how I understood it, because it feels like out of nowhere we're having the diarrhea episode and everyone's like, stop drinking the water, and Belaf just keeps drinking the water, and then he turns like even more like hollowy and evil, and he's just like, I couldn't stop myself, it was so good, I just wanted to be one with the abyss, but I know I shouldn't have, but see, that's what I was going to ask you, if it didn't feel all that clear.
Yeah, because he's the first one to walk into the body of Irumiyui, who is now almost like a half-size building.
Yeah.
And he walks in there and he's like, just take my fucking wretched soul of mine.
That's
and
right.
Turn me into a being of power, or a being of wish granting, of stuff like that.
Right.
And he's
right.
like, and he's just fucking like, and then everybody outside looking at this through this like water screen. Everybody outside, it's like, look how beautiful he is. Look, our queen made him so powerful. And now it's a cult.
Yeah, now it's a cult. And now I feel
everybody drinks the punch.
It's like, how is it more evil? Yeah. It's just like, let's just drink the hollow turning punch. And then, so that's the village. Irumiyui is the village. So, like, basically, she's turned everybody into hollows by stealing their value and like turning them into creatures of the abyss. So like. And like it's also directly proportional to how many other hollow children you eat. So like Belov getting off on drinking the water, eating the children, and Wazukyan eating the children too.
And if you think about it, if Bodger is still fucking making abyss people and oyster people, that's their shelter. That's their refuge for them being there.
Yeah. But some they do explain that some of them are hollows, like actual people that turn into hollows while on the sixth layer. Other than some of the villagers are actually like born within the village. Like they're actually entirely children of Idomiui, which is like even creepier because like the main one that we follow that follows Rico around. Her name's Ma. His name's Ma. I don't know. It's kind of sexless, but like the one of the most fucked up scenes we see with him too is like. Because everything in the village is so regulated by the tentacles of Idomiui, because she's still alive somewhat as a living village, that like if you steal or you break the law, she'll like take out your insides and leave you with literally nothing. So you have no value to trade to feed yourself. You have no value to trade to find shelter. Like it will literally just like leave you as this empty little like stupid husk of a sock puppet. It's a little sock puppet thing.
One of those things.
Yeah, it's a little squishmallow, and it's just like so. Like what we see is that Ma's like when we first meet Ma, it's just like running around in the village, like secretly stealing things from like from the shop sector or whatever from the market, and then out of nowhere the village tentacles just like appears like black hands, black miasma, just grab it, just rip its butthole apart. Like there's a lot of like anus ripping in this season, which is very, very disturbing. Like I hate the imagery in this season so much, and just starts taking all the valuables up its butt that it had stolen, and then like and then you just hear it screaming like bah, 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 and it's just screaming and crying and foaming at the mouth, and it's just like you're raping me, you're stealing my inside, like literally stealing like its organs, because like it wants to leave it with nothing for breaking the laws of the village. And like now it's just this dumb little empty sock puppet that doesn't even have anything inside of it, that just follows Rico around the rest of the season.
Yeah, and then we have Nana. She found Belov, and within Bella's like Belov's
what wasn't
dominion, like he found not Mati again.
Well, what wasn't clear to me at first is that like they started explaining to Rico that like, ooh, your friend Nanachi went with one of the village elders and is now trapped there, blah 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 blah. And it didn't click to me until like way later in the season that this giant centipede thing was the white-haired Belov from the expedition party from the flashback.
Oh yeah.
Because at first it's just this giant snake centipede, but without legs. Like it's segmented like a centipede, has a big face, but no mouth. Eyeballs, but no legs, just appendages, big head, eyeballs, and like it also slithers like a snake, and like it's wrapping itself around Nanachi and Miti, and like what we learn is that Bondrewd found this immortal being Miti, because like what we thought in season 1 was that Rico had blasted Miti and like eventually like officially incinerated her, and that was the end of her immortality, but she just regenerated. Because she's just immortal and just like lives to suffer. So Bondrewd essentially sold that immortal being to the village because Belov is addicted to like feeding on hollows and villagers, which is why he's so big. Like he's like huge. Like like when he wraps himself around his own little hut, he's ginormous. And what we learn about like the like trading value and stuff like that, he traded thousands of appendages. He traded some of his sensory organs, his internal organs. He traded his mouth. It physically shows the act of trading in the village, and like the living village ripping off his appendages to turn it into like this dumbass currency that it could just hand to Bondrewd and be like, now give me that immortal Miti. So Nanachi, still being in love with her best friend as a child, Miti, is just like, take my soul and let me just live here forever with Miti. But you can't hurt Miti and like use her for sustenance anymore. Which is just like this knee-jerk reaction that's also like the dumbest decision she could have ever made. Because that's not even the real Miti. It's like a construction of the village. Because Belaf had sold his appendages as value to create this immortal being. God, it's just
So she gets One Punch Man. She stays there throughout the rest of the season, pretty much until like the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, what we end up learning is that there's a princess of the village that like is also not allowed within the village.
So I guess when the first villagers gave when they gave Uriyumi, what is it? Iruyumi, their value, she was able to actually give birth to like the firstborn, which was this being, right?
Fapta's the last one.
She's the last one.
She gave birth to hundreds of children
until she did it,
right, and then at a certain point, she gives birth to her ultimate princess, like her final offspring, who's Fapta, which has 3 of these wish-granting eggs inside of her, which makes her powerful enough to destroy like her mother's village, to destroy her mom,
which was
and kill everybody inside of it, because like it's the 6th layer. Everything we've learned about the layer, there's like giant seahorse dragons, there's wyverns, there's golems, there's poisonous porcupines, there's just all these crazy like fantastical deadly animals. So like the villagers are safe because they're in this giant Iruyumi tower. But like Fapta's whole goal in life is to give her mom a real death and like destroy all of these bastardized offspring that her mom gave birth to. So like we have like this twofold problem where like we're like Rico's falling in love with everybody in the village. It's like, oh look, they're so nice. They have this fucked up currency system, but like it's nice that they're all getting along and they're safe within the 6th layer inside of the abyss, even though this place is evil. But then she meets Vueko inside of a pit inside of the village, and Vueko is she's like still human somehow, but she's like lived hundreds of years, it seems, because she's like the tower, Iruyumi's tower, is just like giving her sustenance. But then she's using like it's like what Bran Stark turns into in later books of the Song of Ice and Fire series, once he becomes the one-eyed crow or the three-eyed crow, whatever it's called, where he can like use the sensory network of the
entire building
of the trees. So there's like all these like
she describes them as the souls of like kids that they're gonna be born out of the building. Or some shit like that.
Oh yeah. So like she like it's like sonar kind of like she has like a sonar technique at the bottom of the tower where she can see what everyone's doing, and she's just been living there for hundreds of years to like be close to her adopted daughter Iruyumi, who's essentially dead.
Yeah, because she didn't want no part. She didn't walk into like, she said no to the punch pretty much once the village started
they were like, dude, that's my adopted daughter. She's now a living flesh tower tree stump. Like, I don't want to live inside of her.
Yeah, so peace out.
Yeah. But then she missed everybody and just kind of just walked in there anyways.
Correct.
So like
no, I think she jumped the cliff.
I don't know.
Oh, she gets caught up. She gets caught by that guy.
Oh yeah.
And he puts her inside of her.
By Wazukyan?
Yeah.
So in like, also, because it's capitalism, you always need to be interjecting value into a system, because if not, it's stagnant, which means it's a recession and it's a non-growing economy. Once a year or once a month, it's kind of ambiguous, they'll let a wild creature into the village so that they can harvest it for its value, and then that new value will interject like new value into the economic system for the village, right? Because it's all about stealing value from organs or arms. And like, there's several points where somebody will just rip off an arm this season and be like, here, go trade this for value so that you can go get your living whistle back or whatever it is. And so like, to appease this economic system, they let a giant flesh-eating acid into the village.
Oh, dumb idea.
Yeah, stupid idea. It just starts eating everybody. Like half the village just dies before we even get to the real villain of the season. And like this giant 100-foot tall hollow creature has to come out.
Nicely animated though.
Oh, it's great. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, everything I'm saying, it sounds like I'm complaining. But, like, you watch it, I'm just like, everything looks gorgeous. And, like, it's mean how evil this is. Because, like, this is normally, this checks off every box. Like, creative story, decent voice acting. Okay, whatever. Real motivation from characters. It's great, but like it's not great. Like at the same time, it's
not
really
a fun watch.
It's just not great at all because like all the anus rippings and like even before they entered the village the first time, they just find creatures with their butthole sewn shut, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" It like these are creatures that like their value was stolen from inside the village, and they were just chucked outward, and then like their remnants were eaten by creatures outside on the 6th layer. And like what really pressed them to go inside the village is Rico's whistle was stolen. Her Prushka whistle was stolen while they were sleeping.
Yeah.
So that's what made them like start wandering the 6th layer and be like, "Where's Prushka? Where's Prushka?" Because like the what we haven't explained, but if you've watched season 1 or you remember our season 1 episode, is that basically there's like tiers by whistle color. So there's like black whistles, blue whistles, purple whistles, yellow whistles, and like it goes by like your experience level, right? The highest level whistle is a white whistle, but what we learned in the movie is the only way to get a white whistle is for somebody to die and like love you. So like when Rico made a best friend named Prushka in the movie, and then she died because she got turned into a backpack. She like an energy backpack, like she also kind of turned into a whistle, and that whistle is what lets them into the 6th layer.
Yes, and that whistle also controls certain relics or
all
artifacts.
relics. Like if you blow on the whistle after it's fashioned properly, you can unlock the true potential, how they put it, for relics. And Reg is a relic.
Yeah, and that's what essentially happens to the whistle. The guy who stole it made it into that version, right?
Well, it was Fopta that stole it. The princess of the village.
Right,
she stole it and was like, it's like what you were talking about earlier. "Oh, little stone person, I can hear you screaming. Why haven't they fashioned you properly? How dare they treat you like this?" And then she takes her to like the local whistlesmith in the village.
Goon or Goon, whatever his name was, right?
Goon in Hunter x Hunter?
No, the big robot.
Oh, his name is Gaburun.
Gaburun?
Gaburun.
Yeah, Gaburun.
So yeah. So like Fopta can't enter the village because her mom's village membrane won't let her through it. But she has a giant like 10-foot robot that like follows her around. So she's like, "Gabadoon, go into the village and like make sure this whistle's fashioned properly because the person inside of it is screaming because she's not living up to her full potential."
Still screaming.
Oh god, it's so crazy. So then, like, basically, Fopta just, like Fopta was friends with Reg before he lost his memories. And we still don't know why Reg lost his memories, and we don't know, like, we know he's an artifact or a relic, whatever they call it, and we don't know exactly who made him. We don't know exactly where he's from. Gabadoon says at a certain point that, like, he's similar to me. He's a, oh god, there's a term for him. It's like he calls himself like a protection robot or something.
Yeah,
or
something
like
a guardian or something.
Yeah, a guardian robot or for something for the 6th layer. And that's what officially sets off Fopta. Because Fopta has been living her whole life knowing that her mother's wish for her was for her to destroy her and the village and everybody inside of it. Seeing Reg not remember her, like, is what finally sets her off. Is like, you know what? You love everybody in the village. Your friend Rico's in the village. Your friend Nana's in the village. They're dead. They're dead. Listen to me, pussy. Like, all of them are dead. I am an immortal being. Fopta's an immortal being, too. With, like, 4 arms and, like, fox reflexes and, like, crazy teeth and, like, I don't even know what else. And, like, she can just, like, dismember everybody without even trying. So at a certain point, she just goes berserk and just starts destroying the village. Just punches a hole in the village. And, like, which is her mom also because it's living flesh. And just starts murking people. Just starts ripping off heads, ripping off arms.
Actually, Reg is the one that blows the hole in the side of the building.
Why did he do that?
Because he needed to save someone from something.
Something from the something.
He was trying to save. He was trying to blast someone. before something happened. So he's like, before I pass out.
Oh, he's the one that blew a hole in it because the miasma little acid creature that they let in for the harvesting. The village chief, the big fucking 100-foot one, couldn't kill it. So then Reg had to. That's where they learned that the whistle unlocks the true potential of artifacts or whatever. Correct. So then Rico blows the whistle. Reg goes from having like charcoal metal, black metal kind of aesthetic to it being all white and pure, and then his super mega awesome blast like not only destroys the acid creature, but it accidentally popped a hole in the village.
And he made it pretty fucking awesome.
Oh no, it's pretty great.
It's pretty awesome. And then he passes out, and then that's when Fafta, right?
Yeah.
And that's when Fafta comes in and starts like she just goes berserk. She goes berserk. She has like almost like a taste for blood at one point, and you can see her eyes, and her fucking nails are longer, and it's wild. And
like she goes full berserk mode. Like just starts killing random villagers because she thinks that's what her mom wanted.
She's eating them to heal herself.
Right, that's part of her immortality is like either being around her mom and like the black hands, like the soul of her mom will fix her, or by physically eating the flesh of hollows, like creatures of her mom, that'll heal her also. So at a certain point, like she goes so berserk and they bust the hole in the village even bigger that actual monsters from the 6th layer start walking in there. So it's like giant poison dragons and like honey badgers and like just all these crazy creatures, and like even Fopta can't like deal with them. They just start ripping her arms off, they rip an eye out, like they gouge half her face off, and she's like, what the fuck, like mom told me none of this wasn't in my mission, what's going on?
So then we talked about the curse of the abyss and the laws that are set, and right here we see a law put in with Irumiui and her daughter, and essentially also Waco, because I don't know, doesn't it seem to you like there's this kind of like Full Metal Alchemist like exchange of like?
Well, it's Belaf. Belaf has the power to share memories through scent.
No, I'm not even talking about
that.
You're not?
I'm
just talking about the law of how.
Oh, of equivalent exchange?
Yeah, of equivalent exchange of how.
Yeah, that exactly. I think you're right because that's how I treat their value system or whatever.
And now like Fafta being the last daughter, the princess that was gonna take out as a prophecy almost like in the 6th layer, makes us forget that we're in the 6th layer for not any of these fucking reasons. We're there to find the mom of Riku.
Yeah, in the 7th layer.
In the 7th layer, because it's our last layer. We actually looked it up. But
so at a certain point, like the actual monsters invade the village and start killing the villagers anyway. So like, what a hell of a day! Like they're gonna have their regularly scheduled harvesting. The acid creature starts killing everybody, and then they bust a hole in the village. And then that hole in the village lets this evil princess start cannibalizing everybody. And in the middle of cannibalizing everybody, they run away. And in the middle of them running away, creatures of the 6th layer of the abyss start eating them anyways. So then they let Fopta eat them anyways because they're like, dude, the village is gonna die anyways. We're gonna die anyways. We might as well like give you our flesh so that we can become part of you and we can keep living on and you can live your life's mission to like.
And she gets fucked up, bro.
She does. So like she keeps like goes after the poison seahorse dragons.
Her
and like
face is half ripped off, no eye, like half of her like torso is missing.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking crazy. And then she starts eating villagers.
Yeah, and that's that scene where the villagers start like giving themselves to her. So like, while I was talking about like, you know, like her guts are spilling out. She's missing an eyeball. Like she's missing 2 arms. She's
skin off her face.
Yeah, skin off. She's like she's a fucking skeleton. She's like a hollow from a tarnish from a Elden Ring, like just this falling apart like undead creature.
And they start like force feeding her.
Yeah. Like you just see one of the little squishmallows just like take a knife, cut off its arm. He's like, and like even the sound direction, so cringe. Like, but like in a good way. Like that's exactly how it sounds, because it's literally just like you hear him squirm and like squeal. Like it's like if a Muppet was crying. And then Fafta is still like dying, right? Like she's barely conscious. So like it takes that stub that it just cut off and just like pushes it into her mouth.
Yeah, and like might as well chew it for her. Like they could have been like, and then like just like bird feed her.
Oh god, this anime sucks so bad. This anime sucks so bad. Yeah. God, it's like I hate even like reliving the memory a little bit. Like it hurts so much.
Yeah, and like we said, it's not a fun watch. It is cool. It's super cool, but not a fun watch. No. And then what we always known it was Wasukain, you know, which was the human guy that turned into a monster dude. Yeah. He grabs Waco. Yeah. And like throws her even deeper into her mom's body just to protect her, I guess, from.
Wasukan's like motivations as a hollow don't make sense to me like at all, because you're right, he doesn't let Vueko go, he doesn't let her participate in the fight and like go meet Irumiyui's daughter, which like Vueko is like Irumiyui was like her adopted daughter, you know what I mean, like let me go meet my granddaughter. Yeah. But then Wazukan had also eaten some of the wish granting eggs, which is why he was so powerful as like a hollow village leader. So then he turns into vines and like turns into like a support system for the tower so that it can like not fall over while the creatures of the 6 layers start like invading it, so that it doesn't like completely just tip over, because they essentially built the village on a ledge. And like he just kind of withers away. And I feel like his story was missing a whole lot, because like when they're describing him in the past tense, like in the flashbacks, he's seen as like a prophet. They literally describe him as like a prophet at some point. They're like, he was our god, he was our prophet. We would follow him to the end of the earth, which is why we followed him into this demonic pit and like all this other stuff. But then like his story just kind of just pitters out. Yeah,
and as it pitters down, there is no mirrors in this whole world. So Waco, for some reason, thinks she's a monster already.
She thought she was a hollow.
Yeah, she thought she was a hollow, and she starts going up the crumbling down like building that is covering the curse of the abyss. She goes up to the steps, and like we said, she starts turning into gravy.
Yeah, she starts like turning. starts turning into an oyster.
Yeah, and she's fucking dying. And one of her villagers rescues her, and she deteriorates because she's not being protected from the curse. And she gets dragged for an episode and a half on like half dead means.
Yeah, she's like half oyster, half person, and then for like forever they're just like, if we can just get you to Fapta, maybe Fapta will stop rampaging, and like it's Belaf who like kind of sacrifices himself, because like he feels really guilty that he gave into his own temptations, like that we were describing, that like he ate the water, he drank the punch, he ate a fuck ton of people, which is why he's so big, but he gained the power to share memories through scent. So that's what kind of gets Fapta to calm down. Is that like Fapta just straight up like guts him as a giant centipede worm.
Was that pointing Harry Potter when they killed Professor Snape and he's like, get my tears.
Yeah.
You gotta look.
Yeah. So as he's dying, he just lets out his memory scent. Yeah. And that's what lets Fapta know about Irumiui and Vueko and all that other stuff. She's like, oh my god, I didn't know. My mom loved this human person so much. But my mom was such a beautiful person, even she was just a child, and y'all like basically sacrificed her to the abyss. Y'all are fucking evil. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Which like that's the moral of Made in Abyss, is that children are expendable for like anything for adult gain, basically. Like adults will do anything to pursue their own like ambitions at the expense of innocent children. That's like literally the story about Made in Abyss, and it's like the most evil.
And it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop until like the last episode. It doesn't stop. Shit, I don't even know what the last episode was about.
The last episode is basically like a flashback to Fapta. So like,
the promise.
Yeah, so Fapta like goes full berserk mode after eating the entire village, and now she's super mega strong. Kills the seahorse dragons and all the aardvarks or whatever the fuck they were, and then we get her flashback about when she was born out in the middle of the sixth layer outside of the village. She just found her robot friend Gaburun. Like he wasn't even functional when they met. He was just like a head sticking out of the ground. He's like, hey, bring me parts and I can like weld myself into being functional. And like, so that's like basically her adopted parent. And again, like this story about like adopted parents. She accidentally destroyed him because he was trying to protect Reg from her initial frenzy that she was going into when she first started killing villagers. So Fapta now has to come to terms that she basically killed her adopted dad, and now her best friend from when she was a kid, Reg, that doesn't remember her. He's kind of like, come with us. Like, we're gonna go down to the seventh layer. I'm pretty sure there's nothing up here in the sixth layer for you because you just murked everybody. So let's go do our thing. So like that's what I mean about it's ambiguous whether or not we got another party, because like she says no at first, and she's like, no, I got to go find myself and do my own thing. Walks off for like 30 seconds and then runs back and like jumps on his head, and they're playing around and giggling. So it's like, did she join? Did she not join? I'm not entirely sure. And then it just ends. And then it's just so like the whole season is just that fucked up village. With people's buttholes being ripped of value, and then the value inside the buttholes gets turned into coins, and then
children being raped. Episode 1.
Yeah. And then just anus rippings and rapes. That's Made in Abyss season 2.
I wouldn't recommend anymore.
No,
I feel like I would recommend season 1 and the movie, if anything. But if I don't get any like deep substance to this show, like later on. Like, we gotta meet the mom. And the mom was kind of, like, spoiled, like, in the intro. Like, they did have an image of the mom, like, in the intro. So I hope we get...
It's just, like, it has to end with season 3, right? Yeah. Like, could it get worse? Like, there's no way that they could do 4 seasons of this.
No.
There's no way.
Shout out to... What studio is this?
God, I don't even know. Well, shout out to the mangaka, Akihito Tsukushi. Shout out to lead director Matsuyuki Koijima, and shout out to Cinema Citrus.
Cinema Citrus? Oh, nice.
Yeah. Cinema Citrus. So that's Rising of the Shield Hero, Card Fight Vanguard, Made in Abyss. That might be it. I don't recognize any of these other ones.
Rip Takeoff. That was a sad news today.
Oh yeah, God, that was terrible. Well, do you want to talk about the Nerd Down then?
You want to do Nerd Down? Okay, let's do Nerd Down.
Just a quick little 20-30 minutes.
Nerd Down.
Nerd Down. Nerd Down. Welcome to the Nerd Down, where the nerds get down. We are recording on a Tuesday, so I don't want to do a whole lot. It is a weekday. But I do want to give a little quick rundown for next week and go over our housekeeping notes again. New month, new giveaway. Nobody won last time. We had mentioned previously maybe we'd get rid of the subscriber requirement if you commented on a YouTube video, but I don't know. We can talk about it further, but like I really feel like we got to get our subscriber count up because like our YouTube shorts are starting to hit. We're starting to hit like this little sweet spot where like we keep getting better and better and better, and our watch hours are going up. And like I don't think the algorithm will like really keep promoting us unless we get our subscriber count up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for those subscribers that got it. Thank you to Lady Nerds.
We're like 12 subscribers up from the last time we recorded.
Yeah, our short on Call of the Night, they're really good. Again, everybody's welcome here to comment whatever you guys like on YouTube or
You're exactly right. So like that YouTube short clip you're talking about, our viewer count was 100% male the morning we posted that clip, that YouTube short. Mm-hmm. By the end of that day, it was only at 91% male.
Yeah.
Shout out to ladies.
Shout out to lady nerds. And yes, give us your suggestions. The only way you guys get to hear us talk about the anime you guys like, and then you guys telling us what you guys think about that, is by telling us suggestions of your favorite anime.
Right. Email us at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com. Every single social media account is Between Nerds. That's Twitter at Between Nerds, Instagram Between Nerds. Always one word. Facebook Between Nerds. I do want to go over another recent success. We had our most listened to audio episode in the past 2 months last week, thanks to Call of the Night. We haven't done that well since we talked about One Punch Man Season 2 with CJ, which was already back in September, or like early September, like 2 months ago, a full 2 months ago, something like that. So like, thanks to everybody that's been listening, like on any platform, but like you should really listen on YouTube. Like,
yeah, tell your friends. Tell your friends to suggest their favorite anime. Maybe you don't like your best friend's favorite anime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you want them to hear us talk about it. But yes. So now into the nerd down. We just talked about Made in the Abyss.
To that point, we just were so down bad, like talking about Made in the Abyss. I don't know if we're gonna have a funny YouTube short for this episode.
Yeah. Very unmonetizable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? Yeah.
And I feel like we have to hit those points at some point with fucking anime, with a theme of anime. But Made in the Abyss is a complete shit show. Yeah. And we didn't care that we cussed the first 10 minutes just because the algorithm will like us more if we don't cuss in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We don't think any of it was funny. As far as explaining it, there's nothing funny about the anime. I can't think of anything that's funny.
We'll find a clip somewhere.
Hopefully here in the Nerd Down.
It's just us crying.
Where the nerds get down. We did get some comments from lady nerds.
Yeah.
From lady nerds on our YouTube. On our YouTube, on our short, we got some comments from some lady friends that they're like, oh, you know what? I just listened to this clip and now I follow you guys. I subscribe to you. Thank you guys. Do you have those?
YouTube logged me out. Like it's gonna need me to re-verify. But
I'm right here, and this Nerd Down is for you guys, and that's why we would bring this stuff up. Because it is your Nerd Down. It's not our Nerd Down. We do it for you guys.
And to that point, too, so this next week, or this week, we're going to be watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I've already seen half of it. I can see why people are already putting it in the short list for, like, Anime of the Year. And I've also been, like, binge playing Cyberpunk 2077. And it's crazy, like, playing 10 hours of the game and then watching like 3 hours of the show, because like it uses a lot of the same sounds. It's the same like slang, like calling people choom and stuff like that. Like I think I mentioned it on Nerd Down. You were, or just in, maybe it was just like a casual conversation. You were asking me how I like Cyberpunk, and I was like, I don't know. I made best friends with a cholo, and then he died after 5 hours. It like, I think it's funny, like the Hispanic representation in Cyberpunk Edge Runner so far, because like it's really modeled after like a sci-fi like Southern California, right?
I feel like the first people to go cyberpunky will be Central America. Am I wrong for thinking that?
Maybe not.
No, right?
Maybe not, but it's an evil way to put it.
It is an evil way to put it. Yeah.
It's good so far. I like it a lot. I like the game a lot. Like it's giving me even more reason to like play the game. I'm like 30 hours in right now. And what's crazy is like I understand why the game got pushed back 2 years and they even put out a broken product on release. It's just so big. Like I'm 30 hours in and it feels like I'm at the beginning of the game. Because like Elden Ring, after 30 hours, I was halfway through the game. And like Cyberpunk 2077, the map is ginormous. It's way bigger than the GTA 5 map. Way bigger. There's so many missions. There's so much to do. And like it's like the opposite of like Elden Ring, because Elden Ring, there's nothing on the map. It doesn't even have a like a quest log or anything like that. Cyberpunk's like the opposite. I guess maybe after patch 1.6 they start like just hand holding you so much. They were like, look, these random yellow exclamation points on the map, you don't have you don't have these quests yet, but you can go find them. There's literally like one of those annoying like finding missions that like every game has, like Zelda has it, where it's just like go find the little wood sprite people. What are they called in Zelda?
Cocorico.
Yeah, go find the little Cocoricos, and like if you find 100, then you complete that mission. Like even in Cyberpunk 2077, it will show you on the map where like the graffiti is. It's like, look, you gotta find 20 of them. Then the most remote places ever in the whole game, like it'll show you on the map, and like it's fucked up. Like it's not as fucked up as like Made in Abyss, but like it's literally just an entire world built around the crushing weight of capitalism. Like all Johnny Silverhand's character, all he ever says is just like, yeah, fuck corporations. Yeah, fuck corpos. Yeah, like let's go blow up a bank. Yeah, let's go blow up a manufacturing plant. That's all he says. That's all he ever says in game, which like the show is like 20 years before the game.
The show is 20 years before the game?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Something like that. So like after subsequent patches, after the anime came out, they started including like paraphernalia and like gear or weapons from characters from the show.
Okay, cool.
So it's really exciting. I'm super excited to talk about it next week. I fly to Pasadena on Friday to play in the Yu-Gi-Oh Championship Series Pasadena. So I'll probably download the rest of the season on Netflix and watch it on the plane over there.
Watch it on the way, nice.
I think I mentioned last week that I did win my VIP qualifier, so I get to sleep in and I get to skip the first 2 rounds.
That's nice.
So wish me luck. This episode will come out before like I'm over there, so like just hit us up. I'd love for support in our comment section on YouTube.
Yeah. We also had a comment. I don't know if it was a hate comment or just a funny comment. Jacob got called Walmart.
What's his name?
A comedian. I don't know. You asked our friend on our group chat. He's like, "Hey, do you want us to lit this fucking asshole over here?" I'm like, I don't think it's that much of an asshole, unless you're actually going at the guy. But like, I don't know. I thought it was funny. It was funny. They're paying attention. That tells me they're paying attention.
I think Jacob reminds me of Jason Long more than anybody.
Jason Long? Really? I don't think he reminds me of anybody besides Jacob.
No?
No.
He reminds me of Jason Long's character in Barbarian.
Barbarian's a weird movie. Anything else for the Nerd Down? I did not get to read your book that you lent me because I've been...
You didn't read Gunbeard Sisters?
I haven't yet. I think I had enough for a little bit with Call of the Night, as far as vampire goes. So I just keep reading One Piece.
You just keep... Okay, good for you. What chapter you on?
Wow, so 266 or something like that.
I'm so glad you're reading One Piece because
fast.
I've literally been telling you that for 2 fucking years. You're so like, why don't you listen?
Why didn't you tell me?
Go back to the first One Piece discussion with CJ like 2.5 years ago. I literally told Aldo, listen, like an episode of One Piece is 20 minutes, right? Like give or take the intro and like the outro song, whatever.
In 20 minutes you can get through like 20 chapters.
Reading a chapter takes 4-5 minutes tops. I told you this 2.5 years ago, and you're like, nah, I only like watching anime. What do I look like reading, a fucking nerd? I'm like, yes, absolutely. Read the damn manga.
It's just faster and like it's great.
To that same point, like
I just finished Skype. Yeah, I think.
Good, amazing. Love the progress you're making. And to that same point, I'm trying to finish reading Chainsaw Man right now because I accidentally spoiled the ending for myself. So like I've read 2/3 of it. I've read like if part 1 of Chainsaw Man's like 98 chapters, I've read like 65. But then I was watching a video that Mother's Basement that Jeff Thu put out on YouTube regarding the episode regarding Chainsaw Man, and he was breaking down the intro and what that meant for like subsequent chapters and episodes and like the foreshadowing just in the intro sequence to the anime. And like he even gave a warning, so it's only my fault. Like I'm not mad at anybody but myself. And he's just like, warning alert for anybody that hasn't read through the manga about Maki, blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh, I've read most of it. Like what could possibly happen?
Shit.
And then it gives like some end chapter like spoilers. I'm like, oh god damn it. Like oh, I did this to myself. I'm not even mad at anybody but myself. And so I'm trying to read it, and I'm almost done with volume 9 of Mashuko Tensei. You know that TikTok of like it just the caption is just like how people react when they read something spicy in a book, or y'all really be acting like this when you read something spicy in a book. It's just a guy just throws a book to the ground. What the fuck? Kicks his leg out. What the fuck? That's how I felt reading like the end of volume 9 of Mushoku Tensei.
It's a great anime. I'm sure it's a great novel.
It's because like literally last time I brought up Mushoku Tensei Volume 9, I was complaining that it's just like high school drama, but then it gets like super spicy, and I'm just like a spice addict, you know what I mean? So like I just need like
I know you.
I just need that spice that spice at the very end, and it delivered, and I'm just like, oh, it's amazing, and like who knows when I'm gonna get volumes 10 and 11 in the mail, because like I'm telling you, every volume's on back order. That's why you go on eBay and you try to find like volume 10 of Mushoku Tensei. It's worth like $50 when it retails for like 14.
Yeah, and with Mushoku Tensei and Made in Abyss being released in the same year, right?
No.
Mushoku
Tensei was last year. Made in Abyss season 1 was like 2018.
Right. No. Season 2.
Oh, season 2 finished like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, huh? It's because, and I just want to say this about Made in Abyss. It's a good anime, but you can't give it like anime of the year because of how fucked up it is.
No, because it's not digestible at all. It's not fun to watch. Like, it's not like you think of other unfun anime that are also like a super pain. So you think of like NGE, right? You think of Neon Genesis Evangelion, but like there's so many fan theories that come out of NGE. There's so much imagery. There's so much like it made its own genre. NGE did. It was such a novelty at the time. Made in Abyss fucks with your expectations so much that you as an audience become desensitized. And like you're never gonna fall for it again, because it's just like you just have your guard up the whole time. It's like it's like
being in a toxic relationship.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like that toxic. Yeah, you can talk nice all you want. I know who you are, bitch. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Like, don't trick me with your magic, black magic woman.
Like, it's not even like that. It's just like, I'm too smart for this. Like, get the fuck away from me. Like,
yeah. No, I get you. Kaiju number 8. I got my little cousin into it. He still likes it.
Did he like it?
Yeah.
You could read the rest of the manga on Viz within a day too. It's only 60 chapters.
No, yeah, I'm just telling you, dude. I've been trying to catch up with One Piece for so long already.
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for you to catch up on One Piece.
And when I'm at work, don't tell my work, but like I read a lot of manga.
Don't tell my work either. But like the last like 10-15 minutes of the day, if I have nothing else to do, nothing else like on my plate,
obviously.
like I'll pop out like my Mushoku Tensei volume at the time, and I'll just be like, oh my god, what is Rudy Escree Red getting into right now? Who is he getting into right now? And so yeah, that might be it.
I think so.
Again,
we had a Halloween party. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Happy Dia de los Muertos.
Happy Dia de los Muertos. I painted my face for this. I did this like 30 minutes before coming over here.
That's funny. You scared me when you walked in.
Yeah. Feliz Dia de los Muertos.
I will fix this corner by next episode, I promise.
Yes. I'm going to stay here and edit this real quick so it can be for you guys tomorrow. And that'll be it.
This has been Between
Nerds.
Well,